Hey guys, how's it going? We're gonna be trying this out. Kind of a best case scenario at the moment for the Wi-Fi situation. So if this is not going well, we're gonna have to wait until we get something figured out there. Um, but this is basically just normally what I do to practice portraits and stuff. Is I just get like 5 or 6 on a sheet here, and then we just roll with it. Past that, you can find like references on like Pinterest or pretty much whatever. That part doesn't really matter. You just want to have some like variation in what you're doing, obviously. But yeah, I did one in the center, and then I did the rest of the sketches, and I figured I should probably try it out. This is basically just see how it goes. Practice portraits and stuff. As I just get like 5 or 6.
I wish I told you all this long ago, but now it's too much for my pride. But if I never had a chance to grow, then how will you make up your mind?
Yeah, I had references for all of these. I don't remember where they went. They were on my iPad, so, and I got way too many pictures on that thing, so we're just gonna be going for it right now. But, and I'm gonna keep it like, I'm gonna try and tighten these up a lot more, because these are like technically a study. So this is where I'm gonna be trying stuff out, you know, like in this one, tried out some different stuff for the hair. I didn't use any tone brushes, I just used the one like round one. I think it turned out alright, but we'll just have to try some stuff out, see what actually goes down. I think this one took like, I want to say like 45-ish minutes, which for how small it is, it's a little longer than I'd want, but yeah, it doesn't really matter right now. Because normally not a soul sees this, so... Yeah, I used to do this all in one file, and then every time I opened it, it would make my computer just shit the bed, so we don't do that anymore. Yeah, one thing that I kind of find when I'm doing this stuff that's pretty fun is thinking of it like planning a tattoo sleeve, kind of, like to have them flow together. I didn't necessarily do that in this one, but sometimes I do stuff where it's like, we would have like full body on the left and on the right, and then some portions in the middle, or something like that, and you can kind of make it flow together. Sometimes I do that. I did not do that this time, but really just some ways to make it more fun and like engaging, because the whole practicing thing can get really old really quickly if you don't like mix it up and all that. So for white, while we're here, like, so her shirt's gonna be white, right? For choosing white, I tend to either go like blue or red for the actual shade, because like this would be blue, I mean this would be red. And if we just do this would be blue, so it is like decently different. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what I'm gonna do right now, so we're just gonna go with the red. Like generally the way I decide is I just do both and choose the better looking one, but we're just kind of messing around right now, so there's no real consequences even when we mess up. So, and then usually like this would be the white, and then so I don't do just pure white, because then you kind of screw yourself over for highlights. So, because now we can do highlights and it makes sense, because this is pure white, so we could do like that, and you got highlights. But depending on your lighting though, you don't really need it for shirts and stuff, but or if you're really good with your shading in general, like you'd be chilling, because like you wouldn't have to worry about making certain things stand out if your colors are just like locked in. But we're not there right now, so and this is also a time to try out some skin tones and stuff, like different ones. It's like this one was pretty normal for what I do. And then I'm gonna try out like a little more like pink, I guess. Just kind of messing around because the shading does differ quite a bit. Because I don't know about you guys, I'm not really a fan of just making like a super pale person every time. I'm not like I make them super tan either, but and this right here is just like a base blush. We're not actually looking for details right now. This is pretty much the only time I use blurring stuff, generally. Because then there's some variation here that makes it a little bit more interesting. And then you can go back and... Usually I found that like, it's right under the eyes and then the nose, usually. That gets like the effect that you want, but... And even if it's like a guy or like a really like badass girl, you would still have some blush and stuff like that just because they are like living and breathing. Unless they're not, then you can take it away, but you have like an uncanny valley if you don't. And I like to make the lips more pink than the blush usually be. I keep it pretty simple. It's a little messed up, but yeah, my top lip game is not there. I'll be honest, because like usually the bottom I can kind of get it all right, but depending on the angle and stuff, it just does not work out. That's why the majority of these are different angles, because I like to have some variation, because not most of the drawings you make aren't going to be just looking straight on. Usually it's like 3/4 view, I'd say. So I'm trying to lock that in. I always have trouble with the outside cheek. I just can't seem to get my brain wrapped around it. And then this one's like a lower angle, which I'm really bad at that. And this is just straight on, but I don't remember eye color that this reference had, so we're just gonna go with like black blue kind of thing. And I think we're gonna have the same, and even if it's like a guy or like a really blush and stuff like that, just because they are like living and breathing. Unless they're not, then you can take it away. But because like generally so like this one's gonna have black hair. So generally for when I think about this, I like to do the same shade as the eye color. It's similar to the hair thing I was just talking about, where like if I make it like the red black. Sometimes it works, and I think honestly it does this time. But sometimes you can see how this would work better too, depending on like the lighting. But I think we're gonna... I actually don't know now. Yeah, I think we're gonna make this whole one more warm, I guess you'd call it. Although I've always struggled with the like black hair. I don't know. I think it's probably just because it's kind of hard to shade, because obviously it's black, so the base color is really dark. Though it is looking rough, I'll be honest. This happens pretty often too, where I clean up the line art with the color, the base color. Yeah. This has ruined plenty of drawings. Especially with this style where it's like, I guess painterly or whatever you'd want to. I did the same thing again. You can lock the line art. I know normally I don't, but I guess I'm just stupid today, so. Yeah, I guess for like this paint, like more painterly, if you want to call it that style, I tend to work from like the furthest thing back forward, just because it's kind of hard to get, because like the hair goes over, so sometimes you'd want some pressure, like changes and stuff, and you could do it the other way. I've just always had trouble making it work out, so I just don't do it that way. But I mean, try it out, see what you like though. So. And what we thinking for the flower? Red? Oh, by the way, I think there's like a shit ton of delay because my Wi-Fi is so slow. It's saying 1 megabyte up is what we're working with. We don't have much to work with here, so that's why. Yeah. I don't know exactly how cherry blossoms look, but we're gonna be doing that effect where it's like mostly white and the tips are pink. Maybe, or it's gonna look bad. So probably, if we're being honest, second one is what's gonna happen. But we have optimism right now. We can be depressed in the later half of the drawing. Oh, I don't know if you guys have this as well, or if any of you guys actually draw. But there's like I call it like a honeymoon effect in a drawing, where like the first half, you absolutely love how it's looking, and then right around that, you just start hating it. I've noticed it with like most drawings that I've done. Is it goes like that, where it's like, initially I'm loving it, and then after a bit, it's like, kind of falls apart. So I think that's happened more often than it hasn't. I think a lot of animators have that too, from what I've seen. But that's like a much bigger time investment, so... I think that looks alright. I'm not really a specialist in flowers, so we're not working in my strong suit here, but I think that looks okay. And I think we're good to move on to some shading. So normally, I try and keep it pretty simple. It's just a multiply layer and the color of the lighting, essentially. I used to do the thing where, like this is how I used to do it, where you just do a normal layer clipping mask, right? Choose your color, and then next shade, another one, like that. But you get to like 400 layers per drawing, and it takes forever. And I don't like hunting layers, so we just do the multiply meta, and we have the same thing. This is another area where the color of the shirt would matter, because if you have the light blue, like right now, if we did a light blue shadow, like it works, but it looks kind of weird. And when you get darker, again, it works, but depending on your situation, like you kind of just got to pick. But I think in this one, I am going to do the light blue one, just because I like, because they would be outside, so the ambient light would be blue. It's just something you got to kind of think about, and just have it in the back of your mind. You don't have to think about it that much, though. It's not that big of a deal. Normally, normally for this, like, the little strands, I wait till the end. Just sometimes it's like, I know I'll forget, so I just throw them in, but maybe if you have like half a brain that works, you would be fine, but we're not blessed like that, so. Another thing with dark hair, which is why I don't do it that much, is it like really aggressively frames the face. So you really got to be careful with your face shape, because she's kind of looking a little goofy right now because of that. I think we're just gonna have to work with that. I don't think we're getting much better right now. And if we're using our heads right now, I'm thinking it's going to be a lighter, like a more chill shading here. Yeah, another thing for the honeymoon effect, like, oh, just so we know the delay, Phil, I just saw your message in chat. I don't know how much of a delay that is. Someone can do the math, I think, but so yeah, especially if you take breaks. That's another reason why when I did like month-long drawings, why I stopped doing that. I can actually pull one up from a few years ago. And I can show you what I used to do. Here we go. This was like right when I got right into Hololive, so I drew Okayu, but you can see it's loading. And I'm like, bro, I have 36 cores, why should it load? So this is what we're talking about. If we make a new layer, 124, and this file is fucking huge. It's like 7,500 by 8,800. Ryan will remember this one, because this was senior year, or no, this was junior year, so yeah, it was like 2 or 3 years ago. But this one took like 60 hours, and we can see, right, like there's add glow effects and stuff, which I don't know why that's in its own thing. You got like all your references and all that. This is how I used to separate it. Nothing inherently wrong with this. I didn't really do it the best though. Yeah, so If we turn off the background. Yeah, and we can see, it's used to do shading very differently, but this was right when, if you know Some Normal Artist, I think that's his name, on YouTube, but this is when he like first started, so he dropped a hair tutorial, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, they kind of came in clutch, because they saved some drawings, especially back then, because I don't really watch that many tutorials in general, but see, like, here's just the line art, right? So yeah, you said clean line art, and this would take like 2 weeks, and we'd zoom in fully. But when you do this, I don't know, I always got lost in the sauce of making the drawings. So yeah, then you can see individual elements, each in their own folder, which I guess if you do like VTuber avatars or something, you kind of need to do. But I don't know. It was just unnecessary. And then look at this for the skin layer. It's like, this was a whole layer, this like subtle shading here. And then it was like another one, and then another one, and then another one, another one. And it's like, we did all of that in a layer. And then this one was like 2 layers. Yeah. Like this was all the shading. And we have eyes. And it's like, so much simpler. Although if you do it this way, I'm not just dogging on you, but yeah, I think generally, like, also the big file sizes were not good here, but yeah, it adds so much bloat to the process where I feel like it just takes forever. Let's stop killing my PC though. Jeez. And the lighting's gonna be, for this one, coming from, I think I'm gonna make the whole sheet have the same lighting. I might have just lied. We'll have to see, but I think that could look cool in the end. But I'm working on really, I think my problem areas right now are like noses, I want to say, and that kind of general thing. And just the smaller details, because you probably noticed, but it's like most of my stuff is still really rough, which I think sometimes can work. But I would like to have the opportunity, or like the ability to make it go like more detailed if I want to. Because right now the rough is like all I got, so we kind of want to give us some more options, you know. And if you want to know where to get references and stuff, just go to Pinterest and scroll for 5 seconds. I always just look up like portraits and actually search for portraits, and then you get a ton of, I got all these in like 2 seconds. First page, I just middle click and saved them all. Yeah, this middle bit on the nose is really where my brain just can't. I think for this one, it doesn't really make sense that much to have one, because I remember the reference had like a smaller, more rounded one, so it wouldn't be a sharp shadow. But I'd think that it'd have something pretty large. Yeah, Ryan, I just got your message. I just see it now. So I would say probably like a 4-minute or 1 minute at least. 1 minute delay at least. Yeah, I don't know if that's a setting that I messed up or something, but I just went in OBS and clicked stream, so we'll have to mess around. I'll probably do some more test streams actually pretty soon to get her dialed in. Because the Wi-Fi thing's just going to be a problem because I live in the middle of nowhere. But if we can get the rest sorted out, maybe something can happen. That's also why I'm not on Twitch right now, because I feel like because just looking at the stream right now, like it's kind of low res. I don't know. We'll have to see though. See how it plays out. Yeah, right. I think that the okay, I was like, dude, we cooked because it was right after we did the Mai one, and that one was like I was defending it because I spent like I think it's 100 hours on it, and damn, that thing was rough. But that was the start of like I was really into cell shading then, so I never used blur. I still don't use like blurring and stuff that much, but it's very powerful. So sometimes, I mean, use your tools when you can and when it makes sense too. And I've noticed, I haven't been doing a good job at like actually drawing it like this, but I've noticed that a lot of people have like the top lip is darker because the skin isn't darker, but just because of it like being shaded more, because it's like facing down, because the shape of it is like, so that's the top and then the bottom's like that, kinda. So it's shaded. I'm gonna try that out too. Normally I wouldn't be spending this much time on this, but it is practice, so we just gotta chill out and try and learn something. And just general shading tip, usually the light source, we can see it in this one. The light source is coming from the top left, right? Down. So the places that get hit directly by it, I like to put I can't remember what this is called, but you just make it more saturated, essentially. If you shine a flashlight through your hands, it's the same thing. I can't remember the name at all, but it's that thing. I would Google it, but my Wi-Fi's can guarantee you that will not load, so. Yeah, like I think I overdid it just now with the highlight. So we can go back to control. And I usually end up doing a lot of this like 5 or 6 times just to get a feel for it. So then I can actually have like the muscle memory to apply it in an actual drawing. Because usually I don't post these. I don't even think I send them over to other people usually. But I like to do one of them a week at least. I just find them fun is the reason, but... Yeah, the nose is kind of fucked, I'm not gonna lie. I think I'll be honest. This is about as good as we're gonna get, so I'll move on. Yeah, but if it was me from Like when I just showed you that drawing, we would be on here until I thought it was perfect. So like weeks. Or we would just play Minecraft and eat a lot. Probably, honestly, the second one, but and for darker hair colors, I tend to keep the shading a lot more subtle too, or at least I like to. Because I feel like you can overdo it and it really makes the whole thing like kind of hard to see and like look at. But I feel like a lot of these characters are going to be having black hair because my brain is not good at it. I know I'll get this answer like 20 minutes from now, but can you guys hear the music at all? It's very quiet for me, so I'm guessing it's quieter for you guys because I turned it down a little bit. But is it audible at all? But and then I think I need to do some darker stuff for the skin, but like pretty soon. But the hair needs to be a bit darker too. Oh, I don't know if any of you guys are trying to emulate the style. I don't know why you would, but let's say you want to. Hypothetical world, right? Don't like see how I'm overflowing on the flower right now? I don't give a shit about this at all because I'm not there yet. That's why I work back to front because like when I was doing the skin, I was overflowing on the hair overflowing on the other stuff. And we're gonna do the white last, just because the white's so easy to overdraw on accident because it's a white. But yeah, you kind of have to segment your drawing into like stuff that makes sense, and that's something that takes a bit. Like I mean, it took me like a year to kind of get it okay. So yeah, just something you gotta keep in mind, I think. And this is one of those cases where we will get a color. And just having some color variation here, it's gonna be very subtle. But it really brings it up, you know? Brings it up like a layer of detail. Yeah. And with stuff like this for the skin, I like to keep it very minimal. Because you can really overshade some skin. And it's like, it can look bad. I tend to overshade it, by the way, so. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of use. I also like to use these as like little check-ins every week, and you can kind of see what improves and what doesn't. Just across all of your drawings and all that. That's also why, if I don't know if any of you guys do this, but I see a lot of people do it. Um, Only practicing. Like, yeah, practicing's good and you need to do it, but actually make some drawings. Otherwise, like, you don't know how to apply it all. Because, like, you're practicing to make better whole images, I would think. So, if you're not doing that, then, like, what? I don't know, I just can't wrap my head around it. It's, like, really common. I don't know if it's just, like, the servers I'm in, but Jesus, I see a lot of people do that. I mean, they are practicing more than me, though, so maybe they're winning. I also like to have most of my hair detail come from the shading. I think it really, oh, it just makes it look good. Like, I had it with this one, there's, like, no line art in it, but you just have get your shading a little bit more locked in, and they're kind of chilling, honestly. And this one's gonna be a little bit of a tricky one, the shirt here. Maybe not, or maybe I just lied. Okay. Looking locked in there, okay. Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to be doing for it yet, but I am planning a hair tutorial sometime in the next week or so-ish. I'd want to say. Honestly, I think I might just draw like some fan art and a portrait and kind of talk you through the process. Oh, it's not really that complicated is the thing, but I think it's a unique process. I mean, I try to avoid watching tutorials for like general things like how to shade skin, how to shade this. Unless you're a beginner, watching those is really good to get you like you steal a lot of the initial mistakes that you'll make for like the first year or so. But it's like if you only watch tutorials and don't actually practice the things, you don't learn how to apply it. So then it's like I don't know, like you fall into traps every now and then where it's like you only watch tutorials and then um, like one guy I know, not you Ryan, but one other guy I know who writes, uh, he only watches writing tutorials, like that's his entire YouTube feed. And it's like, well, no wonder you can't write. All you do is watch people who are better than you write and not actually write yourself. So I try to avoid that by just avoiding tutorials. Unless it's like subsurface scattering. Just saw the chat. Um, yeah, if it's like subsurface scattering or like smaller things like that, or people studying other people's styles. I lost the video. I watched it like a year ago though, when I started doing this different style change, where this guy was studying a lot of old like masters portraits, and he was like a comic book artist, I remember, and like he was talking about how he applied all the stuff. Like that's a good thing. That's something you could do because I mean, it's like they're goats, so might as well try and learn from them if you can. I mean, worst case, you watch a 12-minute video and didn't learn that much, but that's a pretty low time investment versus like 50 years of trying to replicate something like that. Yeah, Hypixel Skyblock, Ryan. Yeah, that one. I am on my life though. I'll have to say, the Frozen Blaze armor, that was a grind. Well, you can't say much, Ryan. You're playing Zomboid. Yeah, if you can watch people, like obviously watch what you want, and also that's where funny tutorials come in, they're funny even if you don't take much from them. So if they're like just a good video, it doesn't really matter. Also watching people who don't do what you do. Like there's this guy, uh, I mean I saw him on TikTok, but like he makes like stone things, like stone walls with like a pick and chisel and like statues and shit. And I'm like, damn, like he's good, but you can learn some because he talks about like structure and stuff, and it's 3D, so it doesn't directly apply to drawing, but you can, you know, you can let it ponder, have maybe you see something cool happen. Also, he's funny, so that's the main reason, if I'm being honest. But and what I'm thinking of for this specific fold here is you've seen me redo it probably like 5 or 6 times, but I'm trying to figure out different ways to make it look like it's a smooth fold. It's not like a sharp, crisp edge like it is now. So it's kind of something you gotta, I don't know. My clothing skills aren't quite the best, if I'm being honest, but also at some point, probably in the near future, I'm gonna be gone for like 5 minutes. Apparently, someone I know. So I'll be leaving for like 5 minutes to pick up, I think my aunt's bringing strawberries or something. I don't know. I was just told this in passing, so at some point, I don't know when, but I'll be gone for a few. Like right now, I'm thinking it goes off to the side a little bit too much, so. Actually, I think she's here right now, so I'll be right back. I'll check real quick.
From afar when we're apart. Oh, but you would never know you left a scar over my heart, over my heart. You're gonna love me when I tell you of all the things that I can do. The tragic words I sing in the light. Oh, will you run the day you find your heart is mine and only mine.
Strawberry speed run done, baby. It just apparated on my door, so I don't know what the lore is with that. I'm not gonna eat them because they're gross, but I'm not a berry fanatic. There we go. Okay. Time to do some speed run because this is taking way too long. Although we just did the really slow part just now. So 40 minutes is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. We did absolutely nothing, but maybe I'm cooked. I don't know. Oh, let me see if I can. They said it's royalty free, the creator of the music I'm talking about. Let me see if I can edit this and actually pop it in. The description here. Ooh. She's loading slow. It's an album. So there we go. Should be good now, I think. Let's go. All right. And we're just gonna do one more little bit of. I kind of use this as like a quasi line art around stuff like this, where see that, and then we get the brown here, make it more brown. If you think about it, you have like a dark color next to like something light. The lighting kind of bounces off. Essentially, what we're gonna be emulating here. That's where the airbrush. That's where you use that. I use it for the skin a little bit too. But you go a lot whiter. If you want to make like, if you're one of those, if you want to just be like absolute horn dog and make people have see-through clothing, that's what you do. You there. And you got a little something something happening. So the eyes real quick. I keep my eyes pretty simple as well. I just pretty much have, I kind of separate it into two halves. I think this is a pretty standard process, but and then the bottom one, you get a little bit more saturated, and you get essentially black. Throw some of these guys in. And you get the same color, really thin brush, and just wiggle it. Yeah. Let's see. And then usually I say, it kind of depends on the drawing, if I'm gonna be honest. But usually I save the whites of your eyes. Like I save that for when I do the rest of them. So that way I don't have to constantly worry about it being bled over by other colors. And I keep it pretty simple as we're seeing. And this is where I throw highlights on right away. This is why I do the eyes last. Is it kind of brings the whole character alive, so if the rest of your rendering's good, it'll look really nice, or you just scrap the whole drawing, say fuck it, and go home. This is kind of the turning point, because if it looks good right here, when we throw those, see, she's cute. Problem solved. We're good. But if it looks absolutely horrible, that's where you just cry. But not a lot of saving you can do then. And I just do like the little anime ones. 2 on the nose. Oh, I forgot about the flower. Whoopsie teehee. I have no idea what I'm doing with these flowers, by the way. This is why we're doing it in a practice and not a full drawing, because, Jesus, she's a little rough right now. I think it's going to have to be okay. I don't have a reference for it, so I can't really go by realism, because I generally, for a lot of stuff, I like to go, like, heavily base it on realism. We can call it that. And for... I don't know if how to explain this well, but if we look at the circle here, for choosing highlight and shadow colors, generally, if you're choosing, let's say we have the skin tone, right? We want to choose a shade, because you shade and then highlight generally. So you increase saturation and decrease luminosity, so go bottom right, and then you tweak it towards purple. I'd say like 95% of the time, your shadow color, tweak it to purple. Just always slowly scooch it over. And then look at that. We have a shade that works. And you just rinse and repeat for as many shades as you got. And then it goes the other way as well. So we need a highlight right now for the skin, right? So you go decrease saturation and increase luminosity here. And this is one of those ones where it depends on your color. Sometimes you increase saturation. If it's like, I don't know, like a sign, like a neon sign that's orange, you bump it more orange. That's kind of your call at that time. And you scooch it the opposite way. So generally, like, the sun is like yellow, as you know, we can see. So the highlights would be like a yellowish kind of thing. And this is where it's not a strict rule with the highlights. It kind of depends on your light source, but. And you can just, and I don't just use pure white either, because I want the eyes to be the brightest thing. I don't want the cheeks to be. I want the cheeks to be like bright enough to like look cute, but that's about it. And I keep it pretty simple with this, because you can overdo it on highlights and kind of ruin your drawing. So. Yeah, like I think that cheek was overdoing it, so we got to cut it out. So this is where lasso would come in clutch, actually. That's why having a couple tools in your tool belt here is nice, because you can just kind of lasso this cutie up here in kind of the shape of your highlight and just looky there. We already got it. Kind of blend the top out and There we go. And the hair highlight situation, it kind of depends, honestly, on what you're doing. I generally just scribble and then erase a little bit. Erase the shadows with a slightly bigger brush. And that gets like that anime aesthetic going on, but that's one of those ones where you kind of gotta just play it by ear and see what's really working out. Because sometimes you might not even need highlights in the hair, and like this would be fine. And this might end up being fine. We might be removing what we're about to do right now. But and then one more layer for just these like stray strands, just like. And in my opinion, you wanna, the brighter the colors, the more, like the thinner the brush you want. That's kind of up to you though. And I'll use some pure white for this because it is a white thing, so just kind of scribble it on. And really, these two layers, dead, alive. It's one of those things where just kind of keeping it simple really just works, honestly. Let's do these in the order I sketched them, probably, right? So we got this one next. And this one is, again, pretty chill lighting. And then it had like a rim light on the left side, I think. I want to say. I don't remember. I think I sketched these today. I don't remember though. Oh, we got early onset Alzheimer's. Didn't even make it to 20. Rip. RIP. And this color literally doesn't matter. Yeah, we're anti-berry. I don't like eating gross things, so. I'm a fan of veggie though, so I'm actually a pro veg. If I'm gonna be honest, but they're just too much. There's just too much seasoning in there for me, and the berries. I don't know. I'm kind of a pussy, I guess, but it's like I don't want to be bombarded by taste. I want like nothing, essentially. They're also always cold. I don't know. I think I'm just way too picky, but like I don't think I've had a single good berry experience. Except for like raspberry lemonade, but that doesn't count because it's lemonade, it's not raspberries. When they have the chunks of raspberry in there, I'm out. That's also like if they gave you lemonade and just gave you a lemon and a glass of water. It's like I don't wanna craft these myself. I don't have a crafting table on me. So I want it pre-prepared. I'm busy drawing anime girls, okay? I don't got time for none of this prepping my own lemonade, you know? I'll try and kick up the pace on this one. We can do a little bit of a speed run and see the difference. Ooh. Okay, officially been streaming for an hour 20. This thing will be done. How about that? I've accidentally deleted whole commissions by deleting a layer though. That's the one problem if you're like do it like how I do where you draw on one layer because you could just wipe your entire situation with a misclick and accidentally click Control X, Control S. You're cooked. Yeah, I like the skin tone. This is kind of the pace that I have for a lot of the videos. Is this quicker pace. Although I don't know why, but all the videos I've recorded and I've had like an hour before I go to work. I don't know why, but it's been like that every single time. So I then have to speed run. But I think it's a brain issue, honestly. And since I already know that there's like a 4-hour delay here, this character, I'm gonna make it more like ethereal, spend more time on it. Hair color, hit me with it. I'm fine with the variation too. So, like you got multiple colors or something like that. So, by the time we get here, something should be in chat. So, this is the rare time as well in this drawing where the reference had glasses and I didn't add them. So, honestly, I should get banned just for that. Because that's a crime against humanity, I think. Oh, that's kind of cute. I like that. I like this eye color as well. Oh, let's do a blue, I think. Blue would look cool, I think. Yeah, I was gonna have this stream be like fan art or something like that, but I didn't get this done from last night because I was working, so I was like, hey, we ball. I was also gonna stream on Friday, but my Wi-Fi was working today, and I was like, we need to try this out while we can, because I'm gonna be honest, though, I was surprised the shit turned on, like, at all. Because when I was like, oh, what's the start broadcast button in OBS? Let's click it, and then it started, and I was like, huh? And like I couldn't load my channel at all because the Wi-Fi was cooking from streaming, I guess. But I think it worked out. There we go. Good old blush. It's also not a bad idea to add blush on another layer and just merge down. Now that I said that, I should do that. Because otherwise it kind of blends the colors like that, so. Also, I have been pondering the idea of opening commissions up because I don't know about you guys, but tuition does drain the bank account. So, and now that I paid tuition, she's sad. And my car gets like 12 a gallon on a good day. So, we might be cracking those open. I have no idea for pricing, if I'm gonna be honest though. Because last time I did them was probably 2 years ago. And it was for someone I knew. Good old Herbert. Mousy time. And yeah, I don't know. I was never really good with the pricing thing in general though, so. Because it does feel weird when you're first starting up, because it's like, dude, there's like no demand, technically. So it's like, ugh. Because like you would raise price with higher demand, obviously. But when there's no demand, it's kind of a weird initial pricing thing. Because also then I used to spend less time on drawings. It went from like 60 hours average to probably 20 by then. But that's still like, I honestly don't think the art was worth more than $100 a drawing anyway. It says like $5 an hour, which is like, you know. Do you even open commissions at that point? I did because I knew the guy, because he was a coworker. But like I don't know if I would have, and I did some character design stuff too for some people on Discord, but it was all pretty like basic. It wasn't any crazy stuff. Yeah, you're right, Ryan. Sun doesn't exist, dude. I can't believe I fell for the classic scam. I want to go to the Hollow Earth, though. Let's go down there. Oh, okay. If any of you guys need to watch the Red Thread, it's by like Wendigoon and Critical, but it is probably the funniest shit ever. It is so good because they're just dogging on conspiracy theories the whole time. It was made for like a cryptid podcast, but it's so funny. They drop like weekly, and it's that and Creepcast, which is Wendigoon and Meat Canyon. Peak, like the official podcast and stuff is good too, but it's like I don't know. Just the content is so funny. Like the context of what they're talking about, it's so good. Well, I can't listen to it in public because I'm just giggling. I'm going like tee hee 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 the whole time while in Walmart looking for some iced tea.
The circles right under my eyes. Too many screens, yeah, too many magazines. I need to stop comparing and fix up my life. But how can I fix it when I can't even fix my hair? But how can I love myself when you don't care? Don't waste my time, so tell me, how can I become that girl over there? Replace my life. Fact of the matter, I can't hate your guts. Whenever I see you, you still make me blush. But how can I love myself when you don't care? Don't waste my time. The doctor said it's all in my head.
Also, if you want to make your characters look more alive, I've found that having like more saturated shading really does it. Like it just elevates the whole thing.
Something about your gaze. The magazines are on the floor. Yeah, because I can't be playing all these games anymore. And now I have the choice to change, but I feel fine this way, stay the same. So baby, tell me, how can I love myself when you don't care? Don't waste my time, so tell me, how can I become that girl over there? Replace my life. Fact of the matter, I can't hate your guts. Whenever I see you, you still make me blush. But how can I love myself when you don't care? Don't waste my time. If the cover page means I have to fake a smile, it's a price I'll pay to be someone you admire. Am I all you want? Am I all that you desire? 'Cause I just can't wait to be someone you admire. But how can I love myself when you don't care?
And now that we have some
My time, so
bare skin action, we can actually do some rendering, which is like a big part of the practice here. It's similar to this one, just the subtle shades making the whole like chest area work out. I'm gonna try to make like a repeatable process as kind of the goal here, I guess, to shade. So like I have this to look back on, which is another reason why I wanted to stream it, so I can like look back and see what I did, because I'll probably forget all this tomorrow.
but you would never know you left a scar over my heart, over my heart. You're gonna love me when I tell you of all the things that I can do. The tragic words I sing in the light. Oh, will you run the day you find your heart is mine and only mine? Can see your soul. Don't think I'll ever stop or lose control. Pull you in and never let
This, we throw some subsurface scattering in there.
in my head, sometimes things just never go. Stuck in bed, what you said keeps replaying, though I know in the end, I can orchestrate the show. So I'll write another page that goes, you're gonna love me when I tell you of all the things that I can do. The tragic words I sing in the light. Oh, will you run the day
Let's go. I think that's looking all right. Not good necessarily, but it's all right. I should probably just remove that keybind, huh? For the cut. I don't think I've used it once.
love me. I can't describe how I'm feeling inside. All these thoughts clutter my dreams. Living in the
Yeah. Had to lock in for a second. We got like 4 minutes to finish this. I think I'm gonna make the shade a little bit darker. Give it a little bit more punch. Yeah, like, well, okay, right. I haven't liked strawberries for my entire existence, so I mean, you know my parents, you can just ask them. Yo, thanks, Danny. We got a shit ton of lag here, so if you're still here, thank you, but there will be some delay between when I talk and stuff, so. Okay, we're gonna be Control Z until that's gone, because I went into the hair a little bit. And I want this to look kind of layered, I want to say. So I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but that's why this is a practice, so. Let's do the eyes real quick. Actually fix what I just messed up again. There we go. That's kind of cute. Green hair. Got you. Oh, this is actually turning out kind of well. Huh. That is rare. Normally I'm incapable of this whole drawing thing. Probably the thing that I cut out most is just me clicking my tongue all the whole time I'm drawing, because it looks bad. And I also found out that I talk really, really, really slow. I didn't know that, but I guess I do. Because editing editing the videos, it's like, I swear, like 40 seconds of space in between every word. And in the moment, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm jibber jabbering. I'm talking so fast. And then, nah. No, we weren't cooking there. And for these extra little hairs here, I always like to do it in another layer, just because I usually mess them up a lot. Like, if I'm gonna be honest, like, I'd say more than half the time that they're there, like, they're wrong. So like now I can just erase the ones that look horrible and restart. Okay, I would call this done, I want to say. Yeah, it's gonna be as done as we're gonna get. Almost exactly 20 minutes. 21, actually, so I did lose, but that's not bad. Actually, now that I'm looking at it again, I'm lying, but... All this light pressure stuff's so annoying, because my pen is broken. So I have like 0 pressure sensitivity right now. Or I have pressure sensitivity, but it's like on or off. I think I'm gonna wait like another month before I buy a tablet, so... A new one, I should say. Right now I'm rocking the Parblo A610 Plus, and I mean, it worked. I went through quite a few different things. I mean, my monitor is a Huion Canvas Pro, like the 24-inch one. I mean, I liked it, and it's a really, like the screen is, or even when we're just talking about the screen's really nice. But my issue was, your posture is so bad. I'm like goblin posture the whole time I use it. And like I already have back problems, so I'm not trying to make them worse. And that's what that one did, so. Yeah, we're trying to avoid any more spine pain if I can, so. And then the pad tablet, dude, that's what I started on, and they're cooking still. Okay, you can have good posture. It's better on your wrist, too, I've noticed. Because I still do have carpal tunnel, but it's a little bit better. So, like, my hands don't feel like tasers anymore. They just feel like kind of numb. So, I'll take what I can get, honestly. It's still a debuff, but it's not that bad of one. I was looking at, like, Huion makes one. I don't remember the name of it, but they make a pad tablet that I'm actually looking at. I think it would be pretty nice. Because I don't want the ones with like the pressures, like the finger, so you can like touch it and like move it around by touching it like an iPad. Because I always got like little dots all around my canvas that just totally ruined stuff. Because for a period of time I had an iPad. I still have it, but like I only draw on an iPad as well. because the school I went to, the high school, you had iPads instead of like laptops. So you would have to, I mean, you're using it the whole time. Spend $80 on an Apple Pencil, and you got a damn good drawing setup. So it's like, I mean, while you got to use it all day anyway, so might as well, right? Um, but and I use Procreate a lot on that. Procreate's really nice, except for like the layer limit, but I don't run into that with this style. But you could imagine, because I showed you my last how I used to do stuff. You could imagine how that could be a problem pretty quick, because like, oh, 30 layers, that's enough for just the skin, you know? I'm a big fan of this like fluffy hair though, as you can see here as well, and there. Oh, I guess I just like short hair, huh? Damn, these all are short hair, except for that one. Well, okay, we learned something here, but no, I'm a big fan of like the fluffy hair. I don't know. I think it's like from the 50s, like 1950s, but I'm gonna just say it's an S tier haircut. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen it in person, probably because it's not the 50s, huh? But I don't even know what it's called. What are we thinking for hair for this one? Greens for the next one. Let's do blonde. How about that? I used to overdo blonde characters because I am blonde, so I can just use my hair as a reference, but um, we're working with this now, I think. Yeah, I don't know. You know it's bad in the song's buffering. Maybe I should have downloaded it, but let's see. Because I used to draw a lot of Saber and stuff, because I used to be really into Fate Grand Order. That should drain some pockets, but I think if we do, yeah, blue eyes probably. You could make a comment about something there, but that won't be me. This one didn't really have any, if I'm remembering the reference, like it didn't really have any specific stuff going on. It's kind of just like I'm a hot kind of pose, you know? So I think it's from like a fashion magazine, so I guess that makes sense. We're gonna spam the blush on this one. Ah, it's on the same layer. No, it isn't. I lied. That might be a little too much blush. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, also on the topic of podcasts, still, you should know is really good. Um, it's just by two guys, and it's about 0.05 brain cells, but I have like no brain cells as well, so we kind of merge and become like a hive mind, and it's so funny as well. I've almost died on a bench listening to them, so because I used to listen to podcasts at the gym, which that is asking to kill yourself. I'm gonna be honest, we've had some close calls. There's one guy I know. Um, he has me spot him sometimes, but he listens to ASMR at the gym, and that he's built different for that, because that is crazy. I thought he was joking, but every day I'm like, yo, what you listen to? And he just shows it, and I'm like, damn. And it's always like the like goth girlfriend mommy comforts you kind of thing. I mean, he's hitting some crazy weight though. He's pushing like 4 plates for reps, so let him cook, honestly. But it's so funny. Say. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I was gonna be blasting Juice World this whole stream, but then I was like, this is gonna get DMCA'd immediately. I was looking it up. I was like, is the unreleased music still DMCA? And it was like, yeah. So we almost had some unreleased music, but no, no bueno there, I guess. So I don't know why I thought that would work, but oh, we kind of have room for a portrait in the corner here. Not gonna put one there, but we have room. I'm gonna try throwing some skin variation here as well. I kind of mess with that actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna be trying different things out, seeing honestly what works, because this is where I think I've mentioned it in my videos, but like if you're always like, oh, how do I get better, stuff like that, it's just trying stuff out and trying out your effects, you know? Like I didn't see anyone do these and be like, oh, I want to do that. I just thought it might work out. But that's not inherently bad either to be like, oh, I like how X does their shading. Let me yoink it. I mean, I literally did a whole video about that, but it's like you just gotta, I don't know, just do your thing, I guess, but there's not also one correct answer, but I like to do a thing where like if I like a drawing, I figure out what I like about it, and if I can apply that to my own art, and that's what we can do in like something like this, where you're practicing seeing what goes down, and seeing if you can make something happen, or if maybe your style just doesn't work out in it, which is fine too. I think that's going to be all right. Let's move on to some shading now. Merge this guy down. Yeah, I think that looks good. I also like to make sure I have like continuity because I'm kind of wanting to do a. I like this effect in the center drawing. I like this one, that one quite a bit. So I really wanted to make sure, like, we can emulate something like that. There we go. And I've also found that if you put this, it doesn't work all the time, but sometimes if you put like a reddish line underneath the eye, like it looks good. I don't know how to like describe it, but it's just something subtle. I don't know. It's not like it doesn't work a lot of the time, but when it does, it's like, damn, you cooked. It's one of those feelings. So, and when you get those moments where like stuff just clicks, it feels so good. Yeah, I also don't know if I'm the only one like this, but I just physically, my brain just can't let me. This is just a skill issue, if I'm gonna be honest. But um, my sketching skills, when someone's watching, goes down probably 50% at least. Because I was gonna stream this last sketch, this one right here, and then like I don't even think it looks good right now, if I'm gonna be honest. But this one was rough. That one took a hot minute. But I might just have to start streaming sketches as well, honestly, next time. The problem is, like, sketches is, like, finding especially if it's a full drawing, these are different because they're just practice. So my requirements were, like, a lot less strict. But, man, because, like, obviously you want to make something good. So it takes a hot minute to find, like, a pose and stuff that works out. I honestly think that that's like the hardest part about drawing is getting the next one started. Because you are making something out of nothing, so it's like... And that's honestly where some like longer format, like game making or like writing, could even be easier. Because you don't have to constantly think of new entire concepts. Like you only got to deal with like the one thing. Now, obviously, dealing with the one thing for forever also means like other problems, so it's not like a good comparison, I guess, but because then like the honeymoon effect kicks in harder, but that's where you just gotta have some discipline, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like drawing right now, like at all. So like I'm tired from the gym, my wrist hurts, but I'm having a good time though, even though I don't feel like drawing. Let's see. I might just chill out on the boob situation. I'll be honest. I'm not trying to get whatever the YouTube words are. Do one layer of darker stuff and we're good. I think, maybe. Yeah, you may also notice I'm not using like a tone brush or anything at all for this. And that's because I like placing limitations on things. Because I find that you kind of get you can make some cool results happen. That's also why I try and minimize the blurs and stuff. Because if you like rely on the tool, you get your other skills get pretty rusty. That's also why my brush is just a circle. It is technically Birdie's pen, but it's like an alteration of a round brush from Photoshop. Because it's just like a simple circle. I mean, just keeping her. Because you can do a lot of work with just a circle brush, so I wouldn't really sleep on it. Let's try out like a really dark shade here. I don't hate this. Not loving it either, but not sure quite what to do here. Let's try something else out here. We might need another shading color. And if you're ever wondering on when to get a different shading color, situations like this, where you're like, this area here is not quite working out, looking a little yucky. So you want to bring it alive, fix it up a little bit. So Here we go. I'm liking this more. I like the pastel look a lot. Drawings where it's like, I mean, it looks like pastels, I guess. I don't really know how else to describe it, but some people really pull it off well, and it's just like perfect. Because like they have pastels for most of it, and then the one saturated color, just out of the park, just kills it, and just looks amazing. And now we need a really dark saturated color to make the other ones pop. Or this is going to look absolutely horrible. I'm kind of leaning more the horrible right now, but... I think this might be where we call it in this one. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think we're calling it here. Gonna throw some little subsurface scattering in there. Another tip too, just always make the nose really orange, that shading. I don't know why, but it just like cooks the whole time. It's just like, it just works. I don't know what to say. I think we just need some more saturated stuff in the hair. Highlights, and then we're probably done. This one was pretty simple, so. That's where the blue and orange combo comes out too. Just add a tiny bit of it in the eye. And then you just throw, and you just do normal steps. I mean, scribble on the top and scribble on the bottom, essentially. Looky there. She's alive. I do think it's kind of weird how my Wi-Fi will let me stream, but I physically cannot load a stream to watch. Now, I can't load mine to watch to see how good it's looking right now. So we could be rocking 144p for all I know. So I will have to see the VOD and or I'll have to look at the VOD and see what's up. I'll leave the VODs up as well. I also kind of I'm not gonna lie. I do kind of want to farm watch hours a little bit. Because I think I'm in a kind of a weird situation because my videos are pretty short, where it's like subs went boom. I don't know why. I have no idea why y'all are watching. Um, but yeah, subs went up, and because it hasn't been a while and I'm impatient as hell, we don't have that many watch hours right now. So, dude, I don't remember. I guess we're on a different album now. Okay, I mess with it. I mean, sure. And I talked about this with the armor as well, but if you want to make your stuff look shiny, it's just contrast. You have your dark and light colors right next to each other. It's simple, it's not really easy to pull off, and I'm not really good at pulling it off either. But it's simple, so you can at least. It's not like you don't have to think about what to do really. It's just like, how do I apply this one effect, which is one of the better problems. It's one of the better problems to have, in my opinion. So, because at least you kind of know what you need to do. And now we do like a super bright white. Or not quite white. Right there. And let's try throwing some blue in the hair too. Just a little bit, I think that looks good. Oh, this is kind of a love song I listen to, huh? Different vibe than I was going for, but I'm kind of bouncing. I don't care. This stuff is kind of what I listen to in the gym, if I'm gonna be honest. I like the more chill songs. I'm not really a heavy rock enjoyer. Sometimes I throw some Sabaton on, but that's a certain vibe, and I don't really want to overplay it because literally the last thing I want in this entire world is for Sabaton to sound bad because I played it too much. So I need to be cautious with my uses. Uh, they need to still have some punch to them. I think that's it for this one. I don't know, it was about 30 minutes. Yeah, so we got about 30-minute average. That's not too bad. Let's go. I guess we just disconnected for a little bit. Ooh. And I'm experimenting with different ways to do earrings. Not necessarily right now. Just in general. Not earrings, shiny things. I don't know if I would have said. But yeah, I'm experimenting with different ways to do shiny stuff because I feel like my way is a little limited. Now, obviously, a good part of that is skill issue related, but I don't see a harm in trying to evolve the process as well. And let's do some final color variation and call her good. Oh, actually, I might do a little bit darker shade here in the hair a little bit. Just help sharpen up some of the shapes. I kind of want this highlight to seem like a crown. Actually, we might just add a crown in. I think I might have like a white in here. No, that was a bad idea. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with the pink to make it have like another color, but I guess if we just leave it like this, it's not the worst thing either. Totally forgot to do the eyes as well. Let's see. So it's missing highlights, obviously. I feel like it's missing some other stuff, but let's just do highlights first and see what we're looking at. Because I could just be like psyching myself out because of the lack of highlights. Maybe. Hopefully. That'd be ideal. That might be all for this one, honestly. I don't think I have much more that I could add. I think it's a kind of cool. I mean, tell you what, it's a variation. If anything, we got a good mix of people going on here. Well, I think I'll probably do some more test streams, see if I can reduce the lag to less